Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back to the live stream. We are here. It's Sunday night. We are kind of reviewing Sky Bet League One. Another huge weekend has gone. We had twists, we had turns, we had comebacks, we had goals, we had thrillers, and we had shocks. Everything in a League One match weekend we had. And again, we're here to discuss it. The table shook up at the weekend as well, at the bottom and at the top a little bit as well. Again, that top area is getting really interesting. 4 teams still fighting it out. 3 teams very close to each other. Just a couple of points between first and third. The relegation battle has intensified. We have got ourselves an absolute race down there at the bottom. You look, there's 5 clubs, possibly even 6 clubs that could go down this season, fighting for those 3 places as well. And even teams in the middle area of the park are looking to finish their season strongly. Those include Lincoln and Fleetwood, who all got good wins yesterday. We'll come to that as well. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay, guys. Please like the stream as you are joining as well. That'd be appreciated. Let's see who's in tonight. Hello, Luca. Hello, Paul. Again, Fleetwood were better for me yesterday than MK Dons. Yeah, agree with that. Just hello, Chris. Good to see you. Lincoln game was insane. Yep, the game was insane and the goal was insane as well. Up there for goal of the season. Goal of the season is very tight. It's so close now. They could get away with 5 points, but obviously one of the games is Barnsley, so it needs to be 6 because they lose one, all of a sudden they can't get 5 points, if you get what I mean, because Barnsley are the ones that can get 94 points potentially. So, yeah, they can get 2 wins. I don't know where they come from, but I think they get it. Honestly, it's going to be tight. Green Army, Plymouth are believing, believe me. Not long now. Again, Sorensen, what a strike. Ipswich team are the team. Ipswich to win League One. Plymouth are runners up. The games in hand this week are huge. Come on, Port Vale. You were going to look lovely in that imp shirt. Forgot about that. So, if you don't know, me and Jakey Boy had a little bet at the start of the season that he'd wear a Fleetwood shirt if we finish above them. And conveniently, he started to go, well, none of your tops will fit me, so I'm going to get a Lincoln shirt and wear a Fleetwood badge over it. No, that wasn't happening, Jakey Boy. But also, it looks like I'd have to do a stream with a Lincoln City shirt on. And I can tell you this now, I've got one in my house because he brought one down when in March, by the way, about 4 weeks ago. Bear in mind, we were 4 points clear at that point, so he was very confident. Hello, fellow League One fans. It is a big community of League One fans. We will get into the show very soon. Hello, because I see Darren Ferguson crying because the Blue Army beat them. But Ipswich are just insane, aren't they? Here as always, thank you, Sue. Thanks for coming in as well. Can you convince some of your friends to sell their tickets to Ipswich from the last game of the season? No. I agree the allocation is small, but you're still getting nearly a quarter of our ground, really. So we should give 1,500, 14 to 1,500, really, because, look, if it was up to me, I'd sell tickets for 35, 40 quid, have a club shop, sell you 2,000 tickets, no problem. But obviously there's policing to sort as well. We need more tickets. I think there'll be a lot of Ipswich fans that travel without tickets, but we will go into the League One battle. We start off with Barnsley. Great win. Great win. A lot's been said about Barnsley this weekend that, you know, it's done. You know, the top 3 are, you know, they are ahead. Don't get me wrong. And Barnsley do trail, but Barnsley can still get 94 points. And bear in mind, if Barnsley got 94 points, Wednesday got 96 points, Ipswich got 97 points because of the loss to Barnsley, and Plymouth got 101 points, for example. You've got it's just unheard of that you've got 94 and 96 points missing out on the top 2. And I said a couple of weeks ago about this race, I honestly believe goal difference will have a factor at some point, whether it's a league title, whether it is automatics or some point on the final day, I genuinely believe, or even going into that stage, goal difference will be a difference at some point. And that goal difference, not just at the top, at the bottom as well, because Oxford are involved in that as well. Oxford have got a better goal difference. Cambridge are struggling for the goal difference, and MK Dons have got a better goal difference. That is an extra point. And Barnes have got a great goal difference, but it's just a shame Ipswich have got an incredible goal difference. And even if they beat them 2-0, it's still a big difference. But it's a huge win to kind of carry on their great streak in 2023. For me, them and Ipswich have been the best two sides in League One in 2023, taking out even the points that they've got. It's an incredible achievement to win 9 home games in a row. They've got the 4th best home record in the league. They've won 14 out of 19 at home. And they've taken 45 out of 57 points. So, it really isn't, been an incredible 2023 for them. They've got tough fixtures to come. Don't get me wrong. They've got to play Ipswich. They've got to play Peterborough. And they've got to go away to an MK Dons side who are fighting for their lives. Who will see that game as an opportunity to get saved by the Burton game. So real credit to Barnsley, real credit to Duff. He's gone in there, done a really good job. Oxford are struggling as well. They're winless in 18 games. They don't look like winning. They don't really look like scoring, in my opinion. Every time they get into the box, they just look a little bit clueless and don't know what to do. Unlike Oxford of 12, 24, 36 months ago, where everything they touched in kind of the 18-yard box went into the back of the net or caused a problem. They've only scored 3 times in 7 games. And since Manning came in, have they improved? Performances, it's hard. They've battled, but they're not getting points on the board. It doesn't matter how you play. It's all about points. They have played some difficult games. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, they played Sheffield Wednesday recently as well, where they were unfortunate. They played Bolton recently as well, where they were unfortunate. Again, I don't think they were unfortunate in this one. They've got Cheltenham, Forest Green Rovers and Accrington. Now, they are huge games for those football clubs. And to play teams at the bottom, like you're playing Accrington have got 2 games left. They've got to play Oxford away and obviously got Cambridge at the weekend as well. So it's going to be interesting for both football clubs. Bolton, another one that we mentioned, they beat Shrewsbury at the weekend. Now, Shrewsbury have lost 6 of the last 7 games. You look at who they played, though, in those 7 games. They played the 7 teams that they played are all in the top 11 currently, and 6 are in the top 8, 4 in the top 6. So they played Portsmouth, they played, Charlton. They're just outside. And then, you're looking at Bolton away, tough game. It's Plymouth at home, tough game. Ipswich away. These are tough games, and they were always going to have a bit of a drop-off. The performances haven't been good. They didn't have a shot on target, actually, yesterday, which is alarming. It was only, 6 weeks ago that we mentioned them as a sneakily playoff candidate. I didn't think they'd be able to keep up with the level because I couldn't see them getting too many more points. And at that time, I could see them needing 26 points. So it was very difficult. But Bolton are a good side. They are a really good side. They've got a lot of injuries at the moment, but they're coming through that slowly. They're unbeaten in 6. They've won 3, drawn 3. Now, some will be a little bit disappointed, but that's 2 points a game. Now, if they go and get 6 points from their next 3 games, I believe they're in. I said all they need to do is, because I got not stick, but a little bit of flack off Bolton fans because I said it was a must-win yesterday. And now, any game that you're at home against a mid-table side and you're Bolton Wanderers, it is a must-win because you win that, it sets you up nicely for Accrington, and Accrington sets you nicely up for Fleetwood if you can win them all. Then, I don't think they have to go to Bristol Rovers, which, although they're safe and you're not really doing anything and they're not the best aside, it's a difficult place to go, Bristol Rovers. It's awkward. They're a good fan base. They want to win every game. It's not none of this. It's a nothing game. So it's going to be very difficult for them to get into the playoffs. But job nearly done now. The second highest. You look at the defensive records. It's one of the best in the league as well. They've got 21 clean sheets, which is nearly 1 every 2 games. I think the second best possession team in the league, just behind Ipswich. Ipswich average 60%. They average 57% nearly. So, And one thing I like about Bolton, the last 3 wins have been by a goal to nil. And also as well, Josh Sheehan, who hasn't been one of their best players this year by a long stretch. They've got a lot of good players at that football club. But the last 3 wins that they've kind of won, he's been involved with either a goal or an assist. So that just shows you need players for different occasions as well. And Bolton have got that, and they look good. They really look good. Keep the comments coming, please. Please like the stream as well. That'll help as well. Hello, the Cruncher. You all right, mate? Thank you for joining the stream. Had a cracking day at Wycombe yesterday, David Beckham. Eat your heart out, absolutely. All lining very nice for the cause to Moneybags FC into the playoffs on the last day of the season, says Tony. We shall see, Tony. We shall see. Luengo and Moore the best centre mid partnership in League One. Have you not heard about McAdam and Vela? No, I'm only joking. Barnsley won't beat us on Tuesday. Forget to talk about League One. Let's talk about Barnet making the playoffs. Let's see, mate. Let's see. Have you been going to the games recently, mate? We've got Super Kieran McKenna. What a manager. He's done a great job there as well. Will Lincoln get playoffs or automatic next season? Too early to say. I don't like, because they've had a good run this year, saying a team's going to win the league. I said Port Vale, if they carry on, will struggle next year. They need improvement. But Lincoln will have to improve the squad if they were to kind of get top 6 next season. Morecambe, I don't know how they do it. I don't know what's in their breakfast and kind of who messed with their porridge this week. But 2 wins against 2 good sides in Wycombe and Charlton to keep them alive. And it's Cole Stockton, the man that has come alive. He'd only scored 4 in the first kind of 40-odd games of the season. He's now scored 3 in 2. One was an absolute thunderbolt, which you'd expect from a player of his quality. It's only the second win away from home this season. They beat Forest Green Rovers, which I would say everyone beats Forest Green Rovers away, but, the win before that was Charlton away last year, 374 days ago to this day. They won 3-2, and the same scoreline, the same outcome where they went, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. To go to the Vale and win shows enormous character in the situation they have been in. They have got 2 games. They're on 41 points. They are level. However, we're level with Oxford, but that goal difference is worrying. It really is, because it means you kind of have to get that extra point, which, it isn't out of the question. They've got Lincoln at home next week, which is a must-win game. If they win that, they go to Exeter on the last day of the season. Derek Adams managed Plymouth. He can go to their arch rivals and keep his Morecambe side up. So I think Exeter fans will be up for that game, hoping to send Derek Adams down. But also I mentioned for Jensen Weir, he got his 10th goal of the season yesterday as well. On loan from Brighton, one of the best players in League One this season. Raksaka did score his 14th goal of the season as well. But you look at Charlton, they're on 58 points. They got 59 points last year. Their issue is they lose too many games in League One. They lose too many games. You think they're turning a corner, they'll go to MK and win. They've been to Shrewsbury this season and won. They can't pull off these big results. Get a 1-0 win away from home, take it. And you think, build on it. Build on it like other football clubs have done, like Bolton do every week. They don't do it, win 3, 4, 5-0 every week. They've got the capability of doing it now and again. But Charlton just don't have that nastiness to get over the line. And they've lost 37 out of 90 games in League One in the last, season of 44 games. That isn't good enough if you are wanting to get out of League One. If you are wanting to even challenge for the playoffs, and at home they don't put wins together. League One at the top now is very good. The standard of League One isn't great, but the standard at the top is brilliant. You don't see Ipswich lose games of football at home regularly. This is where I'm glad I've not got Jake on, because he'd be smirking and making a smart arse comment. We just know it. If Sue's watching still, she'd agree with me. But, you look at Plymouth. Plymouth have taken 101 points from their last 45 home games. And it's like Sheffield Wednesday are good at home. They're unbeaten in 19. Barnsley have won the last 9 home games. To get into this top 6 now, you have to be good at home. And Charlton aren't. They're not good at home. They're nothing special. And it used to be a fortress of Vale. Pretty much, it's an away game that's a dream to go to at the moment. So they've got to toughen up. They've got the right manager in. They've got some good players. Their summer is crucial for them. I put them and Portsmouth are in desperate need to get out of League One in this next 12 months, or to challenge for the playoffs, because the standard they've set in the last 12 months isn't good enough. But Morecambe, huge win, deserve every credit. Cheltenham, Forest Green Rovers, it's a local derby. You want to win it. There's only half an hour. I was obviously at Forest Green Rovers on Tuesday. They were talking about how big it is. Although they're relegated, they want to win the game of football. And they weren't great. The difference is Alfie May and, Aidan Keener. They are quality players. Aidan Keener, joined from, I think it was Sligo, wasn't it? In January, 3rd goal of the season. Alfie May scored his 17th and 18th goals of the season. Again, when you look at kind of his goal scoring record, I think it's 41 goals in the last 2 seasons in League One, which is incredible. I think that's 90 games. It's nearly a goal every 2 games. And once you've got that for a mid-table side, Cheltenham is huge. Wade Elliott has come under a lot of stick this year. They lost the first 4 games of the season, went to Fleetwood, got a point, beat Exeter away the next week. They went to Burton away. I think they lost, was it 1-0, lost early in the season? It was about January, February time. And he came under a lot of stick, Wade Elliott. You look at Michael Duff, did a very good job there. He's an outstanding manager, and you can see why he's doing well with Barnsley. They're only 6 points worse off, but I'd say this squad isn't as good as the one they had 12 months ago, because you've taken Callum Wright out, who is a top-end League One player. He's proven that for Plymouth in the last 2-3 games alone. You've taken, Boyle out at the back as well. So when you lose key players like them, it's heart your defence, heart your midfield, you lose your manager. I think he's done a very decent job indeed and deserves credit. For Forest Green Rovers, Jordan Garrick is their bright light. They just need to end the season now, go down, come back stronger, because they haven't given themselves any credit as well. I went to watch them against Fleetwood on Tuesday night. It was the worst game of football I have ever seen. And I've been to nearly 400 Fleetwood. Probably over 500 games in my lifetime. It was the worst game I've ever seen. And believe me, I have seen some dross. We've got to hope Oxford lose on Tuesday. Plymouth Argyle, you have to win every game. No, they don't. Plymouth Argyle can go up with 96. Yeah. Plymouth Argyle only need 6 points from the last 2 games to win automatic promotion. To win the league, I may agree, but I don't know, because Leighton Orient responded really well. Normally, when a team goes up, look at Burnley. Since Burnley went up, they've not been bad, but they've not been to the standard they were. So sometimes you never know that psychology. Say, this how you want it, but I prefer the streams you do. Take this how you want, but I prefer the streams you do alone. Your knowledge on League One is second to none. The Lincoln fan doesn't seem to have much. I appreciate that, Ian. Jake is good at what he does, and I appreciate Jake for giving up his time. Anyone who comes on this channel, obviously, that I always respect. So Jake is very good, but I appreciate the comment as well, mate. Thank you. Hello, Colin. How are we, mate? Stockton has played well. Yes, that's what I wonder. Do you think Cole Stockton, let us know in the comments, do you think Cole Stockton, he's looked at it and he's tried to get a move? Because, players do try and put themselves in the market. Just saying. You try that bit extra. Ballymumba, EFL Young Player of the Year, deserves it. Been brilliant. And I still think he's got a lot of work to be done. So if he's still got this amount of work to be done, it is mad. Hello, mate. I hope you're well. Connor Chaplin, best in League One. Agree with that at this moment in time. Derby 1, Burton 0. Bolton. We've already discovered Bolton. David McGoldrick, now he scored Derby's what? Is it the last 6 goals he scored away at Forest Green Rovers? Then obviously he scored at Exeter, a couple at Exeter. And then scored Bristol Rovers. So there's been a lot of David McGoldrick action. Obviously, there's a lot said that he scores a lot of penalties. There's still goals. He's still been crucial to their play. And he didn't play against Fleetwood. He came on in the 43rd, 44th minute, and they were lost without him. I just wonder where Derby would be without David McGoldrick. I don't think they'd be in the playoffs. But where would Peterborough be without Jonathan Clark-Harris? Where would, I think you could take Chaplin away from Ipswich and they'd still be, I don't think they'd be on as many points because they wouldn't, but I think Ipswich would still look at top 2. The squad's that good. I just look at Derby and think the squad's okay, but they rely on David McGoldrick a lot, which is credit for him. He's in his 30s and he's a workhorse. He still runs. He's still, sharp, and every credit to him because he came on at Fleetwood and there was a long ball over the top and he just bang, ping. And I thought, yeah, you played in the Premier League 12 months ago. You could just tell. They're averaging 1.7 points a game. They've got 2 really tough games coming up. Portsmouth at home, Wednesday away. Very, very tough if they want to get into the playoffs. I think they need possibly 4, maybe even 6 points to get in because Peterborough are chasing their tails. If you get 4 points, obviously, it could come down to goal difference, couldn't it, as well? I say this all the time. Goal difference is huge. Don't get battered. Do not get battered. Burton, huge credit to the 2,000 away fans. I know what's going to come, that it's only around the corner. It's incredible support. Burton sometimes just get over 2,000 at home. So exceptional support, and they were back very well. So they deserve that. 48 points from 34 games is incredible for a side like Burton. They're on the up. They brought a lot of players into the football club. They've refreshed the squad. Dino has done a very, very good job. He is not manager of the year because Schumacher, McKenna, Duff, Darren Moore, the manager at the top of the league. You'd expect them to be at the top of the league. Don't get me wrong. Ian Everett as well. For what he's done at that football club, they had 1 point from the first 7-8 games. To turn them around the way he has done is incredible as well. So since January, they've been a top 12 side. So they deserve an enormous amount of credit. They went to Derby, kept it tight, kept it cagey, and against the top sides, they have been good. But Burn, I think they're everyone's best friends at the moment, aren't they? Because they beat Sheffield Wednesday, they beat Barnsley. Everyone seems to, when they rely on a Burton win, they normally get it, don't they? So huge result for them. Harrison, nothing against Ipswich in either game. Call MK Don today, L. As a Burton fan, we should have taken a point yesterday from a good Derby side. McGoldrick saves the game again with a penalty. Some say it shouldn't have been given. We gave them a good game. That's all you can do. When you're Burton, in a similar situation to Fleetwood, you've just got to be competitive and go there with nothing to lose. And Burton did that. And Burton have been excellent this year and deserving, again, an enormous amount of credit. Jonathan Clark-Harris is not a championship player for me. He struggled. He still scored 12 goals last season in the championship as well. Hello, Alfie. Keep your questions coming in the chat as well. Please like the stream if you haven't already. We are so close now to 11,000 subscribers. It'd be a miracle if we can hit it by the end of May. So if you could subscribe, help us on our way. That would mean a lot to me. Fleetwood 1, MK Dons 0. Get in. The title charge starts now. Just like 40 games too late. But no, great win. 1-0 at home. We take them all day. We've kept, I think it's 13 clean sheets now. So it's really good. Back-to-back clean sheets. Promise I'm a cherry scoring. It thunderbolted it into the top corner. Should have scored a similar chance. In the second half, didn't. Likes get a lot of power and height on his shots, I've noticed. Fleetwood, after the Burton game, if you don't remember that, well, I didn't obviously go to the game, but Fleetwood were 1-0 up, went 2-1 down, scored in the 92nd minute with 10 men, conceded in the 96th minute. And then after, Scott Brown went, we have to make this place a fortress again. We've lost 1 in 8 since. Some good wins at home since then. Morecambe at home, Cambridge at home, Peterborough at home, MK Dons at home, Lincoln at home as well. Hiya, Jake, mate, you all right? And so it's always nice to, win those games of football. MK Dons were poor, if I'm honest with you. Didn't really offer much. You look at them, everyone was saying, they hadn't lost in 7 games, but they've not won in, I think they haven't won in 6 games now. So, you draw games, you're not getting out of it really, are you? I still think MK Dons need 2 points, which is a win, really, or 2 draws. And the players yesterday kind of crumbled to the floor. Now, after most defeats, it's handshake, off we go. It's only the bigger games that that's a chance missed. And you felt that. And you just wonder the mentality, MK Dons, what will happen now in this last coming week. So it's going to be interesting. I think they'll be in a situation where they have to go to Burton and probably win the game to guarantee the safety. I think it's in their hands, but they have to do the jobs. Put it out. I think if they lose both games, I think they go down. I honestly do. Right, Fleetwood into the top 12, which is good. Peterborough 0, Ipswich 3. Have a day off. Like, it's getting ridiculous now that you keep thinking they'll slip up here, they'll slip up here, they'll draw, they don't have the quality. Because that's not down to Ipswich. That's down to Ipswich, what they've done since they've been in League One. They've normally slipped up and you thought, there, done. Look at early in the season when they started to draw Charlton away, Fleetwood at home. We mentioned them a lot. Plymouth at home. Some game Lincoln at home. You just kind of think, here we go again. But they seem different now. They seem to have got the act together. And, it's ridiculous. They've got 91 points and 90 goals. This is the closest I think we'll see for a while for a team to get 100 points and 100 goals. It's going to be difficult. And I don't think the point system's on. I think 10 goals in 3, but, Ipswich score goals, so you never know. But they get goals from a range of players. It's not just, Connor Chaplin's, who's, by the way, scored 23 goals and been involved in 27 goals. It's ridiculous. And I don't think he's even scored a penalty. Wes Burns has been involved in 18 goals this season. And his season, a lot have said, probably not, maybe the last 5-8 games, maybe last 5 to 10 games, he's recovered it a little bit. I've said he's not been as good as last season. And that just shows you the standard Wes set last season as well. Celebration was brilliant. The fan that apparently spat on him is disgusting. But well done for Wes Burns for taking it in the spirit that I know Wes takes it. Connor Chaplin is just brilliant. And he's just horrible to play against. But Freddie Ladapo scored 16 goals this season. And not even being mentioned like that. He's got a goal like every 130 minutes. Like, it's ridiculous that he can come on and just get 2. And last week should have scored a hat-trick, really. Disappointing that he didn't. But they went away to a side that have got 42 points at home, one of the strongest sides at home, looking for the playoffs, have been really good under Ferguson since he came in. Like, I think Ferguson, since he's come in, they've been averaging, before that game, 2 points a game, which is just just where Barnsley are now. So, they are a very, very good side. So, Ipswich deserve a huge credit for what they've done. Won 11 out of 12, kept 12 clean sheets in 14. And it kind of gets to the point now, if Ipswich win 2-1, it's a disappointing result because they've conceded a goal. This will come across as, I don't agree with that, but I think relegation to Ipswich is the best thing to happen to that football club 20 years because it's brought the feel-good factor back. They've got new owners. They've got a manager that they love, who's young, who's hungry, who wants to promote youth. They've only got one loanee, I think, as well. They've got a squad age of about 25 and a half, which, by the way, is perfect. You want a squad age, in my opinion, between 24 and 26 and a half, possibly 27. They've got a number of young players on the books. They've got a number of old players on the books as well. But it's a good mix there. They've got a great squad. And they've gone from having like 12k average at home, take 300-400 fans away to most away games, to 28,000 at home, sold over 20,000 season tickets, sold out the season tickets. And also they've, taken 5,000 to Barnsley on Tuesday night. Like, it's just ridiculous. So, really good support. Peterborough, I think they'll be back. And it's not the last we've heard from them this season as well. Where is Pompey's biggest area to develop? I think you need a good League One centre-half. I think you need a goal-scoring midfielder, and I think you probably need another striker. I think you need four players because your team, half of it's good. That's it. EFL Awards is on. I will be catching up with that later. 5,100 Ipswich fans going to Barnsley on Tuesday night. Fleetwood would take more. I've just read that one. As a Lincoln fan, I disagree with Ian Russell. Spent the day with Jake. Very knowledgeable. I learned a lot. Yeah, I agree. I always learn a lot from Jake as well. He's a good lad. I like Jake because obviously it's, me and Jake's, what you see on stream is what you get in real life. And obviously unfortunately though, on the stream, I have to listen to him. So that's the only issue there. Different animal now are Ipswich. Just a shame for you that you've got, Plymouth that are just as good as well. We agree, needed to go back down, to come back down again as we were... winning one, drawing, winning, losing, winning, lose, draw, lose, win, lose. Doing that, finishing 12th on 55 points. And by the way, not playing good football for the sake of it. Not liking your manager is big as well. So let's see. Thoughts on Matt Mullen yesterday. Did well for the young lad. Wasn't man of the match though, let's be honest. Naps, come and join you in the Ipswich and we will look after you. I love your channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We will be doing a lot of Ipswich, interviews for that Ipswich game because it could be a big game and possibly if Ipswich go up, maybe be the biggest vlog on my channel so far. Pray for me. Got tickets for Shrewsbury away. Most likely it'll keep us in the playoffs. Who knows? You never know. Plymouth, what a win. Sam Smith for Cambridge, by the way, scored 6 in 6. He only scored 5 in the first kind of 30-odd games. They're on 40 points now, Cambridge. The next 2 games are massive for them. They've got Accrington and I think they've got Forest Green Rovers in there as well. So they are huge games. But Plymouth, Wright scores again. He scored one of the biggest goals in Plymouth's recent history on Tuesday night to win them the game at Shrewsbury. And he's done that again as well. And he scored his 10th goal of the season as well. And Edwards adding to the score sheet as well. Top of League One, they're on 92 points. They only need 2 wins. 2 wins would see them, 5 points would see them pretty much dry because Barnsley can only get 94 and Wednesday can only get 96. So you don't write them off just yet. Plymouth to win the league either because they've got Bristol Rovers at home, they've got Burton at home. I'm not saying that's an easy 6 points, but if you offered Plymouth this at the start of the year or even probably 10 games ago, maybe even actually, if you offered Plymouth this after the Wembley defeat, I think, was it 3 weeks ago, they'd have taken it. And by the way, since Wembley, both Bolton and Plymouth have been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The standard, what they both set, is incredible. And that's 55 points at home this year for Plymouth. And it's 101 in, 45 home games. That's just incredible. And, I think they've been averaging 2.3 points a game at home this season. And, only, Lincoln and Port Vale have gone there and won this season. Fleetwood are the only team to go there and kind of put on a show and get a point there as well. Fleetwood and Lincoln, they're the only ones to keep a clean sheet there as well. So, it just shows you what a tough place to go it is. They're getting over that line slowly but surely. And Ipswich get over the line like, yeah, bang, bang, bang. Thank you, wham, bam. Another one. 3, 4, 5 nils. Plymouth is going about it a different way. They're having to work hard for the points. And at some point, you keep going, the blow out steam. They haven't, and there's 3 games to go. So Tuesday night is massive for them. If they win that, it's it's kind of like, having the chance in darts, having 3 darts at a dartboard to win the World Championship. That's what it's like. Plymouth, if they win tomorrow, have got the chance to be promoted by Saturday with 1 game to go, which I thought they'd do for a long time. And I've always thought they'll lose at Port Vale because, you go on the sherbets, you have a couple of VKs and dart fruits, and, some of the younger players might not be able to hack it. But no, good. They're a good team, Plymouth. And Stephen Schumacher, the job he's done, fantastic. Like, good, young, hungry coach, speaks well, motivational. I love him. I think he's absolutely brilliant. And they need to go up because they need to keep the squad. But, again, it's a very youngish squad as well. So they're only going to get better, but you know, a couple of loanee players in there as well. They've recruited well at Plymouth, and, you know, they deserve a massive amount of credit for what they've done at that football club. Got my Fleetwood ticket. I'll see you there. We still haven't seen Harrington play yet. He's injured, but I still think Harrington will be our second choice goalkeeper next season as well. Wednesday versus Sunderland was the biggest vlog for you. Yes. 21,000. Recent vlog, yes. Barnsley can't be shifted at the minute. That was when Barton, obviously, and him and Stendhal. MK Don, stay up. You never know. Port Vale game will be difficult. If you could like the stream, guys, that'd be appreciated. We're going to go for 125 likes today. It's a tough like goal, but you never know as well. We're at 32 likes as well. We always get great support after the stream as well. Port Vale sack the manager. Go to Ipswich. We're unlucky. You know, went 1-0 up, and obviously Ipswich doing Ipswich on you, and, you know, it's hard to defend there for 50, 55 minutes. Ellis Harrison was like that, fire the first 10 games. Not seen him for 25, 30 games. Back with a goal and assist the other day as well. 2-0 win over Bristol Rovers, who have lost 4 in 7. There's nothing really more to be said about this game because both sides are safe now, pretty much. They're not, Port Vale are 1,000% safe, you know, well, 100%, add an extra 0. But they are safe, if you get what I mean, because, yeah, they'll be fine. But Port Vale, you know, Burton had good seasons. It's weird because if you were to ask a lot of people who've had the better season, it'd be Bristol Rovers. Who've got the better team, it'd be Bristol Rovers. Who's got the better manager? Well, one's not got one, and I still can't answer that question at times. I'm only joking. Obviously, Joey Barton's done a decent job at Bristol Rovers, but there's only 4 points in it now, and that just shows you what Port Vale did in the earlier part of the season, how well they did, and they've been unfortunate recently. They just got into a mentality where they forgot to win games of football, and they were good. They played well at a lot of games that, you know, Lincoln away, unlucky not to get a point. Fleetwood away, they should have won the game. You get something there and things look so different, and you still have Darryl Clark in charge. So I've been very positive about Port Vale this year. Good to get a win, and they've done well to secure League One safety. Should we got to be manager of the year regardless? Yes, absolutely. Recruited well. Please Stop Town are already up. They only need 2 wins, remember. You know, you don't know. 4,300 Green Army. Superb. On the road at Fleetwood Town, I did see Lincoln's second goal. Fantastic goal, wasn't it, as well? Portsmouth got a win over Accrington. They did it the Portsmouth way, grinding it out. Didn't really play too well, but got it over the line. Now, they've only lost 3 games at home this season. Now, they've drawn too many. You know, they've won 9, drawn 10. You turn 5 of those draws into victories, you're looking at the playoffs, you know, where they were a few years ago. I don't think Portsmouth are that far off. They just lack something. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like having a Big Mac with no Big Mac sauce on. Do you know, that's what Portsmouth are. It's just that little thing that to top it off, to add that little bit of, you know, spice to the team and that extra killer edge. That's what they lack, Portsmouth. Just that little bit of quality sometimes to get them over that line, because they've got 5 or 6 good players, where Barnsley have got 15 good players. You know, Ipswich, again, probably 18. Plymouth, 15 to 18 good players. Wednesday, 15 to 18 good players as well. They just don't have that, and that's why they are where they are, because they're better than a lot of other football clubs. They've got budgets that other football clubs don't have, and they have the pull of Portsmouth Football Club that other football clubs don't have, because Portsmouth is still a special football club. A lot of players want to play for Portsmouth and want to play at Fratton Park week in, week out, because it's an incredible stadium. They're an incredible fan base, and it's sad to see they've got stuck in this league. When you look at the Championship and you look like Luton got up, they're in the playoffs of the Championship. Coventry are in the playoffs of the Championship. Sunderland now are in the playoffs of the Championship. Blackburn have been down here since they've been down there as well, and they're challenging for the playoffs. So you kind of look that if you go up, things can be done to go up and have another go as well. So let's see. You know, anything can happen. It really, really can. But for Accrington, they've lost the last 4. They've lost 8 of the last 9. It doesn't look good for them because Accrington, fair play, to go away to Portsmouth and lose 1-0, it isn't too bad. They conceded 5 to Fleetwood, and they have been conceding a lot of goals, leaking, and they don't look Accrington-y. They just look run over. They look tired. They look lethargic. They look out of ideas. They look like they need something. I'm not saying sack John Coleman because that is the last thing they need at that football club. It might help you for 3 games, 5 games, but over the long term, it'd be the worst thing they did at that football club, in my opinion. But when you've not won away since November, they've had some good wins away from home. Don't get me wrong. Bristol Rovers away, Shrewsbury away, in that mix as well. But when you don't win away for a long period of time like they haven't, you're going to be in the mix. Morecambe have done the same. The home form's been okay. Problem with that for Accrington, their home form hasn't been great either. That normally keeps them up. I think they won half the home games last year as well. So, let's see as well. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Exeter 1. I tell you what, they don't do it hard work either, do they? Wednesday. I'd say their fan base must go into a season, nice and refreshed, looking 18, looking sharp, everything on point. Come out of it in May, grey hair, looking 30 years older for a season because you think Wednesday are going places and you just kind of, oh, here we go again. But they got the job done. Exeter have lost the last 5 games, but come on, have you seen who they played in that? Plymouth, they played. They've gone to Sheffield Wednesday, lost. They played Bolton in that run as well. They've been playing the top sides. We knew a drop-off was going to come. They've not won in 6. Luckily for them, for Exeter, it gets easier. They've got Ipswich away, and then they've got Morecambe at home. So it's a game they'll want to win for other reasons than winning the game because they can potentially send an ex-arch rival down as well. But again, they're getting the job done Wednesday, and especially at home as well. Gregory getting a goal as well. Bannon getting another assist as well, which is always good. I think they're unbeaten in 19 games at home now since that Barnsley defeat. Their only defeat at home this season. And when you don't lose at home and you're decent away, you can get punched on the road away. They have to win the last 2 home games to have a chance. And then Ipswich get less than 96 points. If they win both games, they put Ipswich under pressure. They really do. If they put Plymouth under pressure, anything can happen in these final games. They will. I can promise you this now. I'm very sure of it. There'll be one last twist. I can't tell you what it is because I'm not Oliver Twist, but there'll be one more. There'll be one more, honestly. And where that is, who it involves, there'll be first, second, and third will change positions at one point from now to the end of the season. Barnsley aren't out of it either. I just think that they have to win every game and rely on results. There's a lot of work to be done for Barnsley. But Wednesday, again, that's who we're talking about, are still in it. They're still within a fight. They're 5 points better off than last season. They've got 85 last year. They've got 90 this year. Potentially, they could play Derby. I think it's 3 times in a possible 13 days, something like that. I don't know who you'd want to have in the playoffs if you're Sheffield Wednesday because I don't know. You'd be looking, and for the first time ever, there's not a team in the playoffs that you think, I want them. Because at this moment in time, Derby are probably the weakest, but they've got the playoffs with 30,000 fans behind you. It's tough. It really is. And they've got players that can get you over that line. Bolton are probably 5th, which they will be. I think they will finish 5th. But they're strong. They don't concede goals. They're compact and good at home. Barnsley are on the best form. They're incredible at home. And Barnsley finishing 4th is brilliant for them. But also having that second leg at Oakwell is phenomenal. When they went up from League One, not last time, the time before, they went on a great run like they've done now. And they had 2 legs. And I think they won the first leg at home 3-0. And that is everything for Barnsley. And then Wednesday, at this moment in time, with a team that you're kind of thinking, oh, you can get at them a little bit. They're a bit more vulnerable. But in the playoffs, like Derby, obviously I know it's a reduced capacity at Hillsborough. Now, is it 33, 34,000? It's still difficult. It really is, difficult. ridiculous. It really is. Barnsley are going up. Bolton are going up. We're absolutely massive. Even in all, the Owls keep the pressure on as well. I feel for Wednesday, they are still on it as well. Again, Lincoln and Fleetwood for the playoffs next season. Who knows? There'll be a team that sneaks in. There really will be. We're going to have a look at the League One table now because it is so close. It could go either way. Up top, at the bottom. We'll start off with the bottom because today's show has been very highly top area related. You've got Forest Green Rovers bottom at the moment, down. We know that as well. But have they really given anything? I don't see it. I don't see that either. Accrington 38 points. They need to win both games. And then they play Cambridge, who are next above them on 40, who probably could get away with a draw because they play on Tuesday as well. So I think Accrington are done. Oh, it's so tough. Because Cambridge have still got to play Forest Green Rovers. And people keep thinking that's an easy 3 points. It's not, because they're still fighting, but it's the best chance you're going to probably get at 3 points. If I was to see anyone slipping, I think it's Oxford. But again, the fixtures are favourable. They really are. Oxford have got, Cheltenham, Forest Green Rovers and Accrington, and I think they stay up. But if I don't see MK Dons slipping in now, I think they'll get 44, 45 points and stay up. Morecambe again looking lively. I still think I think Cambridge will go, if I'm honest with you. I don't know on the last one. I really don't. I know you talk about Tin Pot football, but thoughts on the Mighty Reds getting their third trip to Wembley? Well done. Well done. Just beat City first, mate. Beat City first. Again, hope Pompey continues in that Tin Pot League. It's hard to get out of League One, especially for the bigger clubs. It really is. You look at the playoffs now. Wycombe are out of it after the defeat yesterday. To lose 2-0 at home to Lincoln is a disappointing defeat. They haven't been with it all season with Wycombe, really. They had a great run around Christmas where they were beating some bigger side. They beat Bolton at home. They beat Ipswich at home. Beat Portsmouth at home on Sky. But they've only won 4 out of 13 games under Matt Bloomfield since Ainsworth left the football club. They're completing a lot more passes per game. The possession stats are up. The pass completion records up. The forward passes are up. The long balls are down. But Lincoln are a good side. Lincoln have this habit of turning into Spain 2006 to 2012 when they play a side that are any decent at football against sides that are like themselves or probably worse than them. They just play like Lincoln City and you don't know what you're going to get, really. But kind of the record against the top 7 has been the top 6, has been remarkable. They've only lost once out of 12 games. They've only won 4, but they've drawn a lot of games as well, which is good for Lincoln as well. To beat Derby at home early in the season as well. They beat Ipswich away as well. Beat Barnsley away. Which is a huge achievement as well. Beat Plymouth away. So these are big wins for Lincoln, and they can go to sides, counter-attack them. You've got the quality in your Ben Houses, your Danny Mandroys, your Matty Virtues to open a door, and your Sorensens to score from 60 yards out. So you've got a big, big squad, Lincoln, and it's all about next season rebuilding again and going for that second year in that project, because they're in a 3-year project. It's like any series. They plan to have a one good series, then we don't just do a second, we have a third. You look at all the best series, they have 3 kind of, a 3-year gap. And that's what Lincoln are on now. They very much remind me of MK Dons a few years ago under Russell Martin and then Liam Manning. They're starting that under Mark Kennedy, and they've been very, very good. And they deserve the credit they're getting. And it looks like they're going to finish in the top 10. And I'm going to have to wear a Lincoln City shirt. So, yeah. Don't worry, I've washed it because 1, it's Lincoln City, Jake? And 2, it's come from Jake. So I just miss winding him up. We're on fire. Wycombe will be relegated to League Two next season. They also have an excellent manager and a lot of the squad are all. I don't think Wycombe will be in trouble next season. I don't see them being as high up as they are right now. Wycombe were poor yesterday. I think they've been poor for a couple of months, if I'm honest with you. Andy Holt and Dale Vince are two worst chairmen in the league. Neither will be missed. I'll tell you what, that was eventful on. That was very eventful on Tuesday night, put it that way, as well. We'll look at the playoffs now. It's Peterborough, 73 points. They have got some tough games coming up. Bristol Rovers at home, you must win that. 76, you put pressure on Derby, who have Portsmouth at home, possible point drop there. And then Derby have to go to Wednesday on the last day of the season. I do honestly believe if Peterborough win both games, they get in the playoff. The goal difference gap is only, I think it's 3. It is 3, having a look. 19 to 22. I think Peterborough get in. I really do. And that could come down to goal difference. It really could. Because I could see Derby getting 4 points. Could see, Peterborough winning both games. Peterborough have got to go to Barnsley on the last day of the season, which isn't an easy game. But Barnsley could be in playoff mode. And you never know. A slip up there gets Peterborough in. And potentially, you could see, you could see some of these final day matches, obviously, like we talked about Wednesday and, Derby and Wednesday, play each other. You could see in those two games the 4 actual teams that get into the playoffs there. Because Bolton aren't out of it yet. Bolton is still above, but Bolton 75 with a game in hand against Accrington. Then they've got Fleetwood. You would see Bolton safe in the playoffs, in my opinion, but they've not done the job yet. So there's still a long way to go. Barnsley are on 85. They are guaranteed a playoff spot. Guaranteed they will get in. You've got a chance of being up. If they win every game, they're at 94 points and they've got a chance. But then Ipswich need less than 3 points to get into the top 2. That automatically, because you think goal difference as well, that big, because it's like we need 1 win. 1 win will do us. And don't get battered in the other. You're playing Exeter and Fleetwood, it's possible. Wednesday could get 96. They have got Derby, they've got Shrewsbury at the weekend, which is a tough game as well. There's going to be a twist, but I just think Barnsley will not make it. Because I know Barnsley fans get upset when I say this. I just can't see them getting in the top 2 now. I think that Exeter game sticks in my memory, that Burton game, and the draw at Lincoln, they're the 3. If you beat Lincoln, you're only 4 points behind. You beat Ipswich potentially because they'd have to win every game still. It's on. And just that little one bit of lackluster. But I just don't see the top 2 losing another game of football at this moment in time. Wednesday, very tough. I think Wednesday will secure 3rd, which, could be massive for them. What did they get last year? They got 4th last year because obviously they played Sunderland, who were 5th. And that top 2 are just incredible. I think that top 2 will stay the same now. I really do. I don't see either getting 100 points. It could be done. I think Plymouth will win 2 games and go up 98, possibly 99. Be good to see the team get 100 points. Both teams could get 100 points, by the way, as well. And I just see them getting 97 and 98 as well. So it could be decided on goal difference, this, because I think we'll know we'll be our League One champions by the end of Tuesday. I really do. That Barnsley-Ipswich game is the one game that I'm thinking we'll know. And I'll watch that game and be very intrigued to see how it's played out. But we've said this for a while, they're going to slip up, and they don't. So when do we start believing that, this is the real deal? And, they will be singing very soon, hopefully for them, now you're going to believe us, the town are going up. And it will be like that because it's been a long journey for them. You kind of think they're going to slip up eventually. Same with Plymouth. They're going to, drop out. We've seen Wednesday's drop. We've not seen a drop from Plymouth really yet. We've seen a couple of bad games. We've seen a bit of a drop from Ipswich in the season as well, but they've timed it well and they've had to go on an exceptional run, by the way, to get to the position they are in now. To win 11 out of 12, take 33 points. 34 points. I mean, he's incredible. And we'll know by the end of Tuesday, in my opinion, for that. And, teams that are definitely in League One next season, Portsmouth, Wycombe, Lincoln, Charlton, Fleetwood, Shrewsbury, Exeter, Bristol Rovers, Cheltenham, Port Vale, Burton are pretty much done. Leyton Orient, and we'll probably get one, maybe two from the Championship on, Saturday afternoon time. And then we'll get a couple more from League Two potentially as well with Northampton, and we might know third on the last day of the season, and we'll see our playoffs. But let us know in the comments if you are a League One fan who you want to see come down and who you want to see come up with Leyton Orient, because I'm happy about Leyton Orient as well. We're going to go to a Q&A now for the next 15 minutes or so, so please leave your comments down below as well. If you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or if you've got any family or friends that haven't subscribed to this channel and they are a League One fan, they like football, please get them to subscribe, because we are setting a very ambitious aim of hitting 11,000 subscribers by the end of the 2022-2023 season. It is on. We can do it. Obviously, we've had a few blips this year as well, but we can do it as well. And that is at the end of the playoffs. There's a lot of streams coming up for the playoffs as well. The other question is, there's some big games on Tuesday. I tried to get a ticket for Barnsley, Ipswich. Wasn't successful, even in the home end. So, kind of thinking, should we do a stream watching the results come in? So we've got Barnsley, Ipswich, we've got Bolton, Accrington in that run. We've got Cambridge playing as well. I think we've got Oxford playing as well. So there's some big results, big games at the bottom and at the top. Would you like a stream where we watch along to the results? Maybe watch one of the games as well? Let us know in the comment section below. Ipswich 100 points, 100 goals. I'd happily take a point at Barnsley on Tuesday, then beat Exeter and take a draw at your place as well. 5 points would be enough, wouldn't it? Potentially. I think 6 points enough. It's mad just to have a look at all the equations. It's doing my nothing. If we don't get promoted, I'm buying. Yeah. Good luck with that. Barnsley got to come out and play, and that's meat and drink for Ipswich. Yes, agree. When there's gaps, Connor Chaplin against his former club. Great show, Nappers. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate it as always. 3 points incoming at Barnsley. Let's see. Just admit Ipswich are your second team. I like all teams in League One. Ipswich are everyone's second team. People are thinking everyone's Wrexham's for everyone. People are saying, oh, Wrexham everyone's second team. I could tell you that. They're not my second team. I'm actually going to admit who my second team are, especially after today. What a season, though. It's been a mad season for League One. The standard of League One isn't great, I'll be honest with you. But the standard at the top is brilliant. And, it's a bit like the Scottish Premier League. It really is, where you've got a couple, you've got two sides every year that are bang above everyone else. And you've got a few teams as well. Barton will have Rovers fired up for Tuesday. Yes, absolutely. It'd be one of those that goes, let's stop them from winning there. It's their big day out. You go and play, make it about you. I can see exactly what Barton says to his players. It's a difficult game. It's an awkward game for Plymouth. Again, Tony's come in with a £3 dono. Tony, thank you very much, mate. Massively appreciated. All the donations go back to funding, obviously, the streams, the vlogs, kind of the ground hops that we've got planned, hopefully, for the playoffs as well. Thoughts on Luengo? Just brilliant. There's so many good players in League One. It's ridiculous. You've got players now who are wanting to drop the level, and that says it all. Blackpool, Defo, Wigan, and Huddersfield. Wigan are done. I would say Blackpool are done, but they seem to be, fired up, and they need to win the last two games and hope results go their way. I want Cardiff because it's Wales. It's a nice weekend away and it's different. And it's a new ground for me as well. And Blackpool, obviously, because it brings a local derby that's not a derby. But I'd rather have Reading to Blackpool, if I'm honest with you, because it's a new ground. And, you know, I don't particularly enjoy Blackpool away because we always get beat. There's always trouble. And, yeah, I just can't be bothered being, you know, at Bloomfield Road upset again because we conceded in the last minute. Ipswich are the best team I've seen this season. Will be stunned if they don't win the league. I think they'll batter us on Saturday. Yeah, at Portman Road, they're an animal, aren't they? And you've looked at Sunderland this year. They're in the playoffs. You looked at what Coventry have done. It's taken them a couple of years extra to get to where they are. They've been closing in on the players every year. Look at Luton. Why not? They Ipswich can't go up. Add to the squad again. Keep the core they've got. And have a push for the top 10, top 6. It's not out of the question. It really isn't, you know, because they've just got to take, you know, what Luton have done, what Coventry have done. These are good football clubs. By the way, with good managers, Rob Edwards, Mark Robbins is a fantastic manager. In my opinion, Mark Robbins is one of the best managers in the EFL for what he's done. Obviously, first time round didn't go too well. Second time went really well, but done a very good job. Met some great fans in League One. Excluding that vile git that spat. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible to say, but there's idiots at every football club. There really is. Thoughts on Broadhead? Yes. Thank you for that question. Good question. You go through his stats. I think he's got something like 10 goal contributions in 16 games. And he's not being mentioned, but he's going about his business quietly. He got an assist yesterday. He's been very good for Ipswich since coming in. He's played 16 games. There's no, you know, coincidence in those 16 games. The clean sheets have come. The wins have come. They're scoring more goals. He's adding something to him without really seeing it week in. Like you, with Chaplin, you see it week in, week out. You see him goal, assist, or, you know, he's been involved somewhere. With Broadhead, he does his business quietly, but you need players like that, which is good. See at Fleetwood Nappers. Yes, give us a message near to the time, mate, and we'll see something up as well. It'd be the best team I've seen this year. Yeah, not against us. The best team I've seen. Obviously, Ipswich have an off day. You know, Wednesday had an off day. Best team I've seen. Barnsley were pretty good the second time we played them. Exeter, really like playing Exeter. Funny enough, Portsmouth were awful. I'd probably go Exeter on the best performance I've seen, but the best team, Bolton, probably so far. Like, they just moved it, passed it well, and passed us to death in the end. What a pass that was from Brody. Yeah, 100%. Exactly. Spot on. He's got an international goal. Yes. It was against Croatia as well a few weeks ago. It's big for him as well. It's going to be a huge few weeks in League One as well. So let us know. How many times do you think the Cods need to make a challenge next season to be higher up in the league? I think we need a new left back. I think we need a centre half. I think we need 2 centre halves after what I've heard yesterday. I just hope we keep Josh Hill. That's all I'm going to say. I could see Josh Hill going to a Bolton or a Blackburn or somewhere like that, or Blackpool potentially, somewhere local, but higher up than Fleetwood. I think we need a right back. Put Rooney on the right wing because he is phenomenal going forward. Or even play, if you want to play 4-2-3-1, play him on the right midfield and have a right back. Then you've got a bit of both because Brown likes wingers that can defend. And Rooney has defensive capabilities that, you know, from him being a right back. He's played centre half for St Johnstone apparently. So I'd sign a right back. Pretty much need a new team here. We don't really need a striker because we got Marriott and Stockley, but I always think that, you know, because Promise can play up there as well. We got Phoenix. We probably need a couple of wingers because we lost a couple. And we lost Lane. We lost... who was the other one? We lost Lane. We lost someone else. Mendes Gomez will lose, sorry, as well. So I think we need a couple of wings and an attacking midfielder. We lost Paddy Lane as well. So, you know, I think maybe 6 players. You know, let's see. Keep the comments coming, guys. The delusion of some of Ipswich is hilarious, but nothing wrong with someone that makes you laugh, I guess. Yeah. I think when you win games and they play the way you do, it's weird because they win every game and they lose on Tuesday. All of a sudden, they might not be saying what they are saying now. But when you're winning week in and scoring goals, keeping clean sheets, it just feels like you're going to win every game of football and you're the best team in the world. It really does. And you've got a spring in your step. Football's very weird. I've kind of been like that all season because that's what Fleetwood have been all season. Flat, mid-table. We'll take that all day. I've heard about Hayes, which is out due to Marriott taking first spot. We couldn't get on the bench for a few weeks. I think he was injured, but Keane needs to do a couple more things for me to be a regular. And if you watch my vlogs regular, you know how much I really like Keane Hayes because he has a go. He runs at defences and just gets at you. And it's like a bit like like a dog, like a new dog that you've got that sniffs everything and runs at you and just charges at you and like a hassle. That's what Keane Hayes is. He is a good footballer. He just needs to add something to his game. Literally plays with his head down. Get your head up, eyes on the pitch, know where the ball is with your feet, but that takes time and that takes games. And he's a bit like Ash Hunter. When you're playing 20 minutes every game, 10 minutes, came on for 6 minutes yesterday. It's hard. Ben, do you think Moore will get the sack? Ooh. No, I don't think he will. Because it's weird because last year I gave him the benefit of the doubt. And I think a lot of Wednesday fans did because they lost to Sunderland and they weren't great. But it was also right. Next year we have to go up. And Barry Bannon indicated that as well. He was devastated. I watched his interview. I just think we'll see it as he's brought the feel-good factor back. He's brought the connection back. He's, helped get fans back on side. We went on a 23-game unbeaten streak, and you've lost out to two teams that potentially got nearly 100 points. I think you keep him, but I think that it's one of those where you look at the first 6, 8, 10 games of the season, performance-wise. I'll ask you this, Nat, because you're very knowledgeable. And this is what I say. I like Darren Moore a lot. Questions have been asked about him. Is he good enough to get the job done? And now I was one of those who asked that. And I've always thought that. And it shut me up for 3 months for how good they were. And I thought, right, he's got a very good squad here, but it's like having a bike and you're having instructions how to build this bike and he's just doing off the instructions. You've still got to do it. You've still got to, have the knowledge to use these tools and use that, to get it built. And he's done that, but it'd be a lot worse this year if they don't go up than it was last year. Put it that way. Last year, it was quite sugar-coated, really. It wasn't really mentioned. This year, it will be seen as a bottle and an opportunity missed because how far in front you were. You've got to remember, Plymouth and Wednesday were 7 or 8 points clear. So for Barnsley and, Ipswich to have what they've done, it is phenomenal. It really is. So really good question. Now, come back to me on if you sack Darren Moore, who would you replace him with? Please don't give me any names that have been sacked from Premier League club. Be realistic, because as I know you will be. Exactly what I said. It is confidence because Wednesday fans, I'll be honest with you. There's 90 people on this stream now. If you're commenting, please let me know who you support because I bet you maybe a quarter to a third are Ipswich fans. They probably wouldn't be on this stream if they got beat 3-0 yesterday. It's confidence because the winning games of football. It's like winning a race. It's like doing something in your career. It's like, getting married. You want to show the whole world of how proud you are and how happy you are and how good, your team are or how good something of yours is. And that's what it is with Ipswich. People can call it delusion. People can call it, biasness, but it is confidence and it's happiness because how well they're doing. Ipswich fans may never see their team get 100 points again. Ipswich fans may not see their team win 11 out of 12 games again. Ipswich may never see, I'm not saying they won't because they've got the funds and the fan base and the backing and the good owner to do so. But you don't know. And it's like Fleetwood, when they got to the playoffs, I was all over it. I loved it. You know, I was very confident, probably too overconfident, but that's just because I just loved watching my team. So, you know, I've got nothing against that, you know. But I always say, never get too high, never get too low. The job's not done yet. It's nearly done. You know, it's mad because in 2 weeks' time, right, we will know the 2 that have gone up. We'll know 4 playoff teams. We'll know who's missed out on the playoffs, out the 3 teams now. We'll know who have gone down and we'll know who have stayed up pretty much. And pretty much this time, the pubs in Ipswich, obviously they play Fleetwood, will be very busy if Ipswich go up. The pubs in Sheffield will be very busy if they go up. And the pubs in Plymouth and Port Vale will be very busy if they go up. So there's going to be teams that are disappointed. There's going to be teams that are happy. But that's football, I'm afraid. Fair enough, mate. You beat us twice, but let's be honest, neither of the games were easy. Norwich City were coming for you. I saw that. I saw, was it 4,000 you took yesterday as well? I don't know. It's just, you know, the saying, nice guys don't win wars. That's Darren Moore. Like, but you've got over that line now where you are winning wars. So it's, you know, one of those. Still think we'll snatch third. It's mad. It's mad. I think Plymouth fans are, because I obviously speak to a lot of different League One fans as well about football, and I'm like, I think with Plymouth, right? If there's any Plymouth fans, obviously in the chat as well, they can back me up. Obviously, having 80 ideas as well. Because they're in shock, they're in this position. A bit like when Fleetwood got into the playoffs under Rosler about 6 years ago. It's kind of like we're gonna bottle it. We're not going to do it. And every win, it's like, oh my God, we are going to do this. We are going to do this. And it's kind of like, with Ipswich, it's kind of like, yeah, we're going to go up. It's fine. With Plymouth, because they haven't got the tools that Ipswich or Wednesday have had, it's kind of like, I still don't think we'll do it. I still don't think we'll do it. And it's like you're kind of thinking we won't do it to kind of be prepared when you don't do it a little bit. But I still believe Plymouth will do it. I said, for them and Bolton on Wednesday, having 3 home games in a row are massive. You win tomorrow, you win on Tuesday, sorry, you're promoted in a week's time. It sounds easy, but you're promoted in a week's time. You get 4 points, you're in a very good position to be promoted to Port Vale. But tell you what, good luck to any team needing a result on the last day of the season, because Bolton away last year, I'll tell you a story. It was 12:45 kickoff. I woke up at 5 a.m. in the morning, couldn't sleep, went for a walk, started drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I can't remember any of the game. I just remember somehow me joining with an Icelandic clap when they scored the 4th, knowing Gillingham were losing. We stayed up on goal difference. Football that was stress, but it was a delightful day. Got a feel for more if they don't win 90 points. I'm telling you this now, and I'm very sure on this. Even if Barnsley lose, Barnsley will have 9. I said it a few weeks ago. I said it when Wednesday lost to Forest Green Rovers on the 26th of March. There'll be 4 teams on 90-plus points. You know, you could may see, you know, more than that. But it's ridiculous how many points they've accumulated. You've got to feel for Barnsley as well. You know, these points tallies would win leagues normally. You know, ridiculous. It's our guy. You can never get excited. Exactly. I'm the same with Fleetwood. I agree. Please keep liking the stream, guys. Subscribe if you're new. The support is fantastic. We'll keep coming through the comments. Carrier was half empty with 20 minutes to go yesterday. They have been quality all season. They deserve. And I said it, those who watch the streams regularly as well, when they drew at Portman Road in January and Ballymumba scored that goal to take 2 points off Ipswich, bear in mind Ipswich would be on 93 now, Plymouth would be on 90, there'd be a 3-point gap, we'll send Plymouth Argyle up. And it might not just send them up, but it could win them the league title. It really could. I see all 2 teams that go up staying up next year as well. But also, talking about the teams that go down, just quickly, I don't see Forest Green Rovers coming straight back up. I don't see Accrington coming straight back up. I don't see potentially Morecambe or Cambridge coming back up. I see it like this year: Crewe are mid-table, Gillingham are mid-table, Doncaster mid-table. They've had an awful season, you know. And who was the other one that went down last year? Cambridge. It was. Oh, help me out. Gillingham. Gillingham. Oh, I've lost it. Someone let us know. But again, mid-table, you know, really not really doing anything. Like teams we support: Ipswich, Fleetwood. Get in. Fleetwood are massive. There's 100 people in the chat as well, which for the end of the show is remarkable. Ipswich, empty at Carrow Road. Very inconsistent though, lacks the end product, but other than that, he's very good. Ipswich will lose on Tuesday, Argyle will win. There's a twist. I said there'll be one more. Who's the best player in League One Nappers? I can think of a few. Oh, I like Chaplin. I like Bannon. So many off the top of my head. I like Alfie May at Cheltenham. I think he's fantastic. I like players, not just because they're the best, because little things they do. Like Alfie May, like if I was to build a team, I'd have Alfie May in it as a centre forward behind a front 4-2-3-1. I just think he's brilliant. I really do. I don't think he's the best player in League One. Probably have to go Chaplin this year because the goals he scored, you know, from a number of different positions. People up the amazing work. Thank you, Luca. Good to see you this weekend as well. I don't want him sacked, but I could see it happening. How would you rank McKenna, Moore, and Schumacher? Schumacher, McKenna, Moore. That's just, I'm going to get hate for that. I just think Schumacher to be top of the league with Plymouth is remarkable. It really is. And by the way, they lost their best player in January. And they said they're done without Morgan Whittaker. They've added strength. Callum Wright, Jay Mattetti, you know, these types of players. You know, the Australian lad as well. Was it Ben Waite, as he called? I go to every game, Nappers pal. Love that. I worked out the other day, I missed 25 Fleetwood, or something like 24 Fleetwood games in 8 years, and 10 of which have been this season. Schumacher has done it on a smaller budget. Agree. In a few years' time, McKenna will be managing a Premier League side. I could see it. You know, it only takes a few defeats, though, to kind of ruin a reputation. Look at Critchley, you know. But I could agree with that, yeah. Plymouth have been awesome, fair play. Do you think Ipswich will beat Barnsley? I think it'll be a draw. I do. Wrexham got promotion. Have they? It's not like the media have mentioned it, have they? I think they've been a bit quiet on the situation. I do like Michael Duff. Yeah, fantastic manager. 3-5-2, 3-4-1-2. You know what you're going to get. High-flying wing-back, strikers who score goals. He's got Devante Cole to score 15 goals. So, wow. Ben, can you bring up your League One possible? Right, yeah. I promise you, we'll do that. I'll have a video out for you tomorrow. Barnes will be ding-dong. Morsey has to stay cool. It's a hard game, Barnsley away. They've won the last 9 home games. They're a really good side. It's a Barnsley, big pitch, massive pitch, which I think will suit Ipswich a little bit. Enjoyed the stream. Best luck to Argyle and Barnsley on Tuesday. Thank you, Tony, as ever. Barnsley definitely got promoted. Another great side that struggled against the mighty Imps. Mate, we spoke about it about 4 weeks ago, and you said to me how good you are against the better sides. Alfie May will be a pilgrim next season. Alfie May will be a championship player next season. He'll be one of the first to leave. And it's all about how Cheltenham replace him. He's got one. His contract expires in the summer, but they can extend it by a third of the year, which, by the way, is what Fleetwood did for Wes Burns. Now, I'm starting to wonder, I think we only got a small fee for Burns, like $250,000, which for Ipswich is small, but for us, it helped us in a time that we desperately needed it. Will we have a promotion clause? Because surely you sell Wes Burns to Ipswich, you kind of think, easy money, really. Callum Wright's winner at Shrewsbury on Tuesday night could turn out to be bang on the money in that last minute. There's a twist like that to come, though. Ops on Cheltenham had a very good season. Very, very good season. Who's going up in the League One playoff promotion? Can we just get this season over with? I'm stressed enough. watching it. Do you see Ipswich challenging for the Championship playoffs next season? I've just said this. I think Ipswich, if they go up, I don't think Plymouth, but if Wednesday ever go up, look at Sunderland, what they've done. They're in the playoff to beat West Brom today, 2-1. I think Dennis Sirkin scored twice. So, absolutely. A lot of League One players will 100% be snapped up by Championship clubs. Absolutely. You look at Bolton squad, you look at Peterborough squad. Tell you what, if I was a Plymouth or an Ipswich manager or fan, I'd be looking at, Taylor at Peterborough. Came from Barnet. He's a good player. Very, very good player. Midfielder, gets the ball, half turn. Very similar to Cameron Humphreys at Ipswich. Wimbledon went down and that was it. Wimbledon. We played them a year ago and oh my God, that was just as bad. Ben Wayne, that's it. Thank you. Have a good... thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Plymouth keep going, fair play. I wrote them off. You never write off to sides. And also show as always. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Like you say, Colin, Ipswich are a doo-doo animal these days. Long may it continue. You never know. There's one final term with Ipswich. I don't think they win every game. I don't. Just, they'll have enough. They should have enough. 108 of you in this chat. So if you could like the show, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. I'd love to hit 11,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're going to work on lots of videos, lots of streams coming your way as well. Ipswich are bidding for Taylor in January. There you are. I didn't actually know that, by the way, but Jack Taylor is a fantastic player. And Loudmouth, who was in before, he said he'll play in the Premier League one day. 3 years to me. Bang. I think he'll be correct. I think he's probably their best player, Peterborough. You've got a goal scorer who scored 25 this year, but I still think him. I don't think Barnsley's recent results have cost us. I just think the fact that we're rebuilding at the start, yes. Now, that's the problem with this. I'm saying this, I can't believe I'm saying it. That's the problem with Duff. There's no problems with Duff. It's just you needed to rebuild. You've come down from the Championship. You were a mess last year. He had to look at it. And you're only averaging about 1.4 points a game until this, end of 2023. Although you beat us, you were on a decent one at the start of October time. You still weren't the best of sides. You were very, very good, but there was just other sides above you in the pecking order. Remember when you lost 3-0 to Bolton just after Christmas, and Mads Anderson got sent off, conceding a penalty, you lose the game. It's very difficult. We tried to sign. Oh, he is like that. He is a very clever businessman, Darren McAnthony, and very good chairman as well. Very fair, very honest, and has his football club at heart. So he's one of the chairmen that posts on Twitter that I can actually, bear, because I don't like these chairmen who come on and tell you how you should feel. Do you think you'll draw 2 games? Honestly, I think Ipswich will win the league. A lot of Ipswich love tonight. I think 3-3. Wow. 111 in now. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is like Fleetwood's average attendance. I'm used to these numbers. As a fellow Lancasterian, would you prefer to see the likes of Morecambe and Accrington stay up? Good question. I'd rather see Morecambe stay up than Accrington because I prefer going to Morecambe more. And I feel like when I play Morecambe, I want to beat them more than I play Accrington. Accrington I don't really see as a big game. Morecambe I do. And I like Derek Adams. I know a lot of people don't, but I like Derek Adams. And I think at this stage of the season, I think he's the best manager in that area to have at this moment. Not over a 46-game season, but to have. And I'd rather see Morecambe say up to an Oxford as a Fleetwood fan, but I like Oxford away. I like MK Dons. I like these away games. So I'm not really bothered who goes down, really. I just like going, watching my team and speaking about League One as a whole. Top 3 in order, Ipswich, Plymouth and Barnsley. Ooh, you think Wednesday will get 4th? Will MK Dons go down? No. The goal difference, I only think they need a point. Prediction Fleetwood, Ipswich, I'm saying 4-0. 2-1. Fleetwood, bear in mind, I've only lost, I think it's 1 game by more than 1 goal this season. Fleetwood, in credit to us, don't get battered. We don't get battered. I say that we've got Bolton and Ipswich coming up. But we only lose by the odd goal because the way we set up, we're very hard to play against. We don't get battered. I don't think you beat us 4-0. I don't. I think you beat us, but I don't think it matters how many you beat us by. You win 1-0 and it comes, your goalkeeper scores it. Doesn't matter. You never know with football. Your Ben Wilson scored the other day. Who do you think will go up through the playoffs? Oh, we'll do a video on that when we get to it. I hope Morecambe stay up. I love the socks off Derek Adams, and he still loves us. He's got to go to Exeter, hasn't he? You know, just saying that, Exeter fans will not want to see them stay up as well. And, you know, and it's good to see that relationship rekindle a little bit, because it got a little bit toxic towards the end. And it's good to see Derek Adams still has fantastic memories there. And, you know, Plymouth, that just went on a little bit too long. He needed to leave a bit earlier than he did. Maybe outstayed his welcome a little bit, but did a very good job there. And laid foundations for where they are now. For Ryan Lowe and Stephen Schumacher. Every time they swap managers, though, they do it well, don't they? They always, you know, you think about it, the last few, they've been cool and composed, and that's where they are. Very much like Luton, you know, lost Nathan Jones, you know, obviously replaced. Nathan Jones came back to the football club, and they brought, you know, Rob Edwards in. So, you know, I think Wednesday finished third now. They actually have something to play for, unlike us, Barnsley. You are hard to play against. That Hayes goal is still in my head. Get in there, mate. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God. And it just dipped in. I was like, oh my God, Christ. I find it hard to watch that video, though. Very much of a pain. Fair play, mate. You should be hosting a League One show on TV. You're very knowledgeable and fair. Thank you very much. That is the dream. I am at university for hoping to do something like that. I say I'm at university. No lessons on. Teachers going on strike. Awesome show. And as always, mate, well done, over 100 on the chat. Thank you very much. There's a couple of minutes left, so please get a like in the show, guys. That'll be massively appreciated. 90 minutes on League One as well. My voice is going. Tuesday is commending to me. 9-0 wins on the bounce by relentless Ipswich. It's one of those, because you lose and it's kind of like, oh, can we get back on form for the playoffs? You want to go into the playoffs winning a few in a row, don't you? You know, so losing is, you know, is pride. You want to win as many games as you can. But Ipswich is just have a day off. You know what I mean? I say that, and they did against Fleetwood, didn't they? And drew the game. Cambridge and Oxford are have very favourite fixtures. They do. Only because they play Forest Green. But, you know. Thoughts on Aidan Keener? Yes, I really like Aidan Keener. I think he's been very good. He's got 3 goals since coming in from Sligo. He looks good. He gets behind defences. He's very much like Alfie May like. Can he take over and be the main man? Yes. But he's not done it yet. So that's pressure. So it's kind of a different situation when you're the second choice striker. Freddie Ladapo at Ipswich is your prime example. You know, doesn't play week in, week out, 9 minutes week in, week out. But he's got 16 goals because he's got other players to help him out as well. Draw, 1-1. We've just showed every bit of power we have for Tuesday for Barnsley. Toughest game and most important game so far. Can't wait for the atmosphere. I was going to go to the game, mate. Just couldn't get tickets. Gutted. I watch all your vlogs on YouTube. Thank you very much. Get subscribing down below. Get notifications on. We've got so much more content to come. Also, yes, League One Vlogger of the Year. Get in there from the real EFL. Buzzing with that. So thank you for everyone who voted. I'll be honest with you, I totally forgot about it because I got told I was in the final about a week when I was in hospital. So we've won. Thank you very much for everyone who voted. Thanks for everyone for the support this season. It's been phenomenal, especially on these live shows, because these are my favourite shows to do. You know, the prep that I do, I always love watching games back. I always like writing bits and information out and, you know, talking to other League One fans about football as well. So much better than the Premier League. So thank you for everyone who voted as well. Can't laugh about away support, mate. Massive respect to people like you and travel around the country to support your team. That's another thing on Ipswich. I've always had respect for them, especially since they announced the attendance at something like 24,000, and he said something like 61 from Fleetwood. It was never 61. It was 38 because I counted. And Ipswich fans got up and clapped, and I thought, that's class. You know, bit of class that. because there's too many people that think fans, you know. What Fleetwood players will be on your release list for the summer? Probably the ones that are out of contract, bar Holgate. Superb support. Hello, Ty. Good to see you. Doncaster, Wimbledon, Crewe and Gillingham went down. Yeah, exactly. As well. We are going to end today's stream here. So thank you so much for those who have watched it. 90 minutes on Sky Bet League One. We've covered all the games. We've covered the League One table. We've had a little look towards Tuesday as well. There'll be a show later in the week after Tuesday as well. There'll be a couple of videos predicting results as well. So much League One content coming in the next 2 weeks. So please like, please subscribe. We're so close now to 11,000 subscribers. It is one of my biggest goals because obviously we've had a big setback recently, but that's not going to put us off. Thank you very much for those who have watched all the way through or if you've just joined. If you're watching this as a video, there are time codes in the description, which I'll go and do now. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Good luck on Tuesday if you are playing. I will see you in the week. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, turn notifications on, up the quads, and up the Sky Bet League One. Up the quads.